people. Add Kaz and dude, come on. All right, what up, everybody? This is your boy Virus with an interview. It's been a while since I've done an interview. I have no questions written down. This is going completely off the charts. This is going off the books, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. All right, Kaz will be in a minute. He's been added to the panel, but he will be in a minute. He said he's got to get a smoke. I'm the first like. I'm the first like of all. Just kidding. I got to be professional and shit. Ooh. Okay.
Hello?
Yo, what up, Kaz?
Yo, hold up. I got some technical shit on my side I got to fix up. Give me 1 second.
All right, it's no problem.
Things being ridiculous. There we go.
All right, but yeah, after the interview, I can edit it and I can edit the rest of those links into the description.
Word. Okay, cool. Yeah, I did a Facebook plug for the show, so hopefully that helps, give viewership and shit.
Right. Damn, it seems like a lot of people rock sunglasses when they do videos.
Oh, well, that's been my gimmick for a minute, bro.
Well, it's been the same thing with Don Chaos and Callie Green, and
I mean, I don't got no problem taking the pictures off either, so it's whatever.
No, it's real no problem. It's no problem. All right, so
got the shade. Finally found the shade. Couldn't find the bitch last night.
Nice.
So
let's see. I'm just gonna post this on my Facebook really quick. And I normally post this on my figure page for Facebook, but nobody ever really I got like 14 people on my figure page and nobody ever looks in there. So
I mean, and if you want to share it to my Facebook profile, like if you want to tag me in it, I got 2 business profiles. So if you want to tag me in it and let all the people that follow me see it and shit, that'll be what's up. Can I get that straight, honey?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me put these underwear with the underwear.
This thing is being a bitch. There we go.
Yeah, this will all be clipped, I'm assuming. So.
But yeah, I could definitely put some of these. Actually, no, I could do that. I could just do that. I could just highlight all. Well, not all this. Not all this. Damn it. I can add all this.
I gotta grab an ashtray, and then we'll get.
You mean uno momento, por favor?
Just like 1 minute. Jesus, look on my balls of the fucking half-ass.
I can speak Spanish better than you.
Okay.
And then this one last one that you sent me was the Uzi Goddess. I'll put that in there.
Yep.
That way they're all on the fucking. That way all the links are on. That way they're all shared on the thing. And.
Oh yeah.
Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck am I? Here I am. All right, so. Okay, so
let's get into this shit.
Let's get into this shit. Okay, so and currently my fiance is the only one in the chat. I thought another friend of mine was going to be in there, but I guess not. So or he'll be running.
Before we get cracking on this, can you email me the live link and I'll put it up real quick?
Oh, I can. live link. But let's see, I never really. I usually have I usually have all this shit squared away 20 minutes before the actual shit gets underway.
I got you, homie. I got you. Hold on, since we're kind of in the sort of cut and chop phases of this, since neither of us were really fucking prepared the way that we should have been. I'll click on your fucking shit. Here we go, right here.
Well, it's been a hot minute since I've done an interview. My last interview was probably 3 weeks ago or more. Not totally sure.
I'll actually go and edit my my live post and just stick the actual video link to this particular interview in there instead of the link to your channel.
Right.
So that when
actually, if you need that, I can send that to you.
I got it. I already grabbed it up.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So, okay, my friend DJ said he'll be in a minute.
Cool.
I mean, I can't say that there's going to be anybody else that I have in my chat group on Hangouts that's going to be in here, since I would say 8 people out of that whole group are Juggalo YouTubers. They have all their own shit going on. They got like Crazy McCormick does Uber and Grubhub and shit, so he's busy. Everybody has jobs, basically.
I'll share it into my networking group. People will pop in if I share it in there.
All right, yeah. Maybe I should have put a coaster under my drink here. Oh, this shit doesn't get all wet. Okay, so let's see.
Cool. All good.
Ill prepared. Let's see.
Well, it happens. I mean, this is just kind of the setup portion where you kind of, got to tie up the loose ends. It's all good. Sometimes I
was gonna have one.
So, whenever you're ready, bro, we can get
okay. So, we'll hit this. We'll kick this shit off with some. We'll kick this off with some of the questions I can kind of recall. Like most of the questions, like I said, they're all Juggalo shit stuff. Like how long have you been a Juggalo? We'll kick that off with that.
Okay. I can answer that. Before I answer that though, I gotta shout out the Tat real quick.
All right.
But yeah, I started listening to ICP back in the mid 2000s, so probably about 2007 I really got into Twisted. I was never stupidly into ICP, like I bumped them and shit, but Twisted was like my go-to shit. And yeah, I've pretty much been down since then. I kind of distanced myself from some aspects of the culture, but a lot of my fans are Juggalos, so I appreciate that love and support from that community, no doubt.
All right. Okay, that just kind of shot 2 birds with 1 stone. Cause no, wait, never mind it. Yeah, I kind of did. Because one of the other questions would have been like, who got? Well, yeah, never mind. Well, you said that you got into it back in 2007. Who would you say got you into listening to them?
My homeboy Peter got me into them. We were bored and we were fucking around on Livewire back when that was a thing. And I had heard a little bit of it from another guy I know, Brandon Buell, rest in peace to him. But it was mainly from my homie Peter. We started getting really into ICP. He loved chicken hunting, piggy pie. He bumped that shit all the time. So, we were just in an alternative phase of our lives. I was a big mainstream rap guy. Like I was into Nelly, I was into Eminem, but once Eminem kind of, phased out, and M wasn't really the focus anymore, I needed something else to fill that void. And I came across a lot of ICP's deeper songs like Great Malenko, Hall of Illusions, and it just clicked with me on a certain level that made me
Right.
really enjoy it and inspire me. I never got inspired really to do horrorcore music. I mean, for a short
Okay.
time, you know, there's that short time where everybody's like, I want to be a fucking rapper and rap like ICP and get signed to Psychopathic. Like, yeah, there was a short time I was like that, but that was before I actually became an artist. So, but yeah, it was a very close friend of mine named Peter who got me really into them for a while and introduced me to Boondocks, Blaze You Dead Homie, showed me some early Esham. Like he really was the one that opened up and showed me more stuff. Before that, it was
Okay.
just a little listen, you know, to like Hall of Illusions. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then
All
it just
right.
evolved from there.
All right. So, some other questions like, okay, so obviously your the album that you first listened to was The Great Malenko. So I'm gonna assume that was possibly your favorite album that they dropped.
No, like the thing is, because of the way we obtained our music, I never actually listened to a whole album all the way through. We would have what I call a chop albums, you know, where it was just different songs that we liked on like a burn disc. The first album I
Right.
actually listened to the like all the way through, or the majority of the way through, I believe was Hell's Pit actually. Um, which you know I'd heard everything else, but I had never actually sat down and listened to Great Malenko all the way through, or the Ringmaster all the way through. Although a lot of the songs on Ringmaster are ones that I like, but I don't have a particularly favorite ICP album per se.
All
If I
right.
was to pick one, it would probably be Ringmaster. I've always liked the design of the Ringmaster.
Right.
I've always liked the way that the album flows. I feel like some of their later projects kind of gets clunky. You know what I mean? Like you got really serious shit, and then you just got random off the wall bullshit. And I never vibed with that. I never was like, people always would say like, "Oh, the dating game. Don't you love the dating game song?" And like, I liked it the first three fucking times I heard it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But after that, I was kind of like, eh, whatever. So I never had a particular album. It was just compilations of songs on burn discs that we would listen to religiously, you know. And that's why when all this shit's gone down with these kids jumping people and all this bullshit about them not knowing the Joker cards and shit, I'm like, dude, I didn't fucking know the Joker cards. Like I just enjoyed and took in the music, you know what I mean? So, but to
All
answer your
right.
question, no, I don't have a particularly favorite album. But if I was to say that I had one particularly that I was really fond of, it would be Ringmaster.
All right. That actually kind of leads into the next question. What do you feel about the current generation of juggalos and juggalettes?
Ooh, am I allowed to be actually honest about that?
Hey, you know, be as honest as you want. You're like everybody that I've interviewed thus far has always been 100% honest with their answers. So,
All right, well, we're gonna go from tame to controversial quicker than
all right.
fucking trying to talk about Trump politics real quick. But yeah, no, I think it's ridiculous. I think the current Juggalo culture as a whole. I'm not gonna speak on the entire new generation, but I think a lot of it is people that are there for no reason. They're there because they like to do drugs. They're there because they like that feeling of family. I don't want to say everybody's like that because they're not. But there's a reason I didn't go to the gathering. There's a reason I stayed away from certain events anymore and have no interest in going. And that reason is because the drug culture has become so infused with the juggalo culture that it's downright ridiculous. Somebody that a homie of mine actually knows got shot this year at the or not shot but got stabbed. I correct myself. Got stabbed this year at the gathering because he stood up for, I believe it was Gmo Ski of cult shit, I think is who it was. He was standing up of talking about him, and this guy took offense to it basically and stabbed him, from what I understand.
Wow.
Um,
I've only heard a little bit here and there about it. So,
well, the dude that I know, who is actually somebody I work for, Sam Lunacy, who I interviewed yesterday, And his link will be in below in the description. His music is fucking fire, but he knew the dude that got stabbed, you know, and the amount of pills that are being taken at the gathering, the amount of heroin that's being abused at the gathering, the amount of just hard drugs is so much more escalated than it was 10 years ago. Like back in 2006 to 2008, you know, the worst thing you'd have to deal with is hallucinogens, some pot, and maybe a few people doing coke, like maybe. But now it's like, you know, back in the day, it was like maybe 2 or 3 people are caught in a stall snorting some coke. You know what I mean? Now
Right.
it's like 25 fucking. Now it's like 25 fucking people per hour. Like it's insanity.
Right.
And some people will go to the gathering and they won't see any of that shit because they stay close to their homies and they don't notice any of that shit. But it's there, and I feel like that's the fan base. Since we're on the subject of the fan base, I'm going to go a little extra mile and decide to piss off some people.
Right.
ICP is no longer an underground entity. Deal with it. That's just a fact. That's not my fucking opinion. That is a factual deal. ICP is a mainstream commodity. Their shirts are in Walmart. Their shirts are in Hot Topic. They've had shirts in Spencer's. Those are all mainstream stores. When they talked about the Juggalo March, they were on Power 95.7 in downtown New York. You know,
I didn't know that.
Or Hot 97 or Hot 97 or whatever fucking radio station it was. You would know a little better than I was, but it was like one of the 2 major New York like power radio deals.
Right.
And if you're being interviewed on that platform, you're no longer fucking underground. You're mainstream. I'm not saying they sold out, but I'm saying like they're known. People know who the fuck ICP is. People know the Insane Clown Posse. They're in the mainstream eye. So to say that they're underground is a complete lie, and I feel like in order to gain back the loyalty and respect of their hardcore fan base that is truly passionate, you know, a lot of these dudes that have walked away and, you know, they don't want anything to do with the culture anymore. They need to be honest about that and say, hey, we went mainstream. We are mainstream. But we did it our way, and we walked to the beat of our own drum, and we got there through our hard work and our networking and our dedication, and the love of our fans helped us get there. Because they're going on tour every fucking night, making shitloads of money and telling people, yeah, we do it for the underground. But they're not underground anymore. You can't be underground and have a, you know, special show, movie review show on Fuse TV. That's, you know, you've crossed over.
I can actually, I can agree with you on that. You know, like with some of the shit that they've done as of recently, like the shit with Dr. Phil and King Crimson, doing the radio, mainstream radio shit, and all this other stuff that they've done that is all very mainstream. It's hard for them to say. It's kind of sugar coating. It's like they say that we do it for the, like you said, we do it for the underground. We're underground and all this, but it's hard for a lot of people to sit there and say and continue to say that they're still underground when they have in fact went mainstream, but they did it, like you said, they did it in their own way.
Yeah, it's just like Tech. Tech went mainstream under his terms. Being mainstream doesn't make you a sellout. I want to clarify something to everybody who's uneducated out there. Being mainstream means that you are known within the mainstream bubble, that you are pop culturally known. That is all that qualifies. There is a huge difference between being mainstream and selling out in order to be mainstream. All mainstream means is that you are publicly known on a large scale level to millions of people.
Right.
You know. So I'm not saying they sold out, and I'm not saying that they should be ashamed of their success. They should embrace their success, in my opinion, and say, you know what? Yeah, fuck yeah, we are mainstream. And you know what? Now Juggalos are mainstream. We're a part of, you know, pop culture and mainstream culture, and you should be proud of that, and I should be proud of that. Everybody who's down should be proud of that. But instead, we're being told that, you know, they're underground and they're not mainstream and fuck the mainstream and, you know, but in all reality, that's not the case.
All right, yeah, because I could say the same thing about Twisted. Twisted sits there and claims that they're still underground. They're mainstream. I
Not
mean, they're
as
both,
mainstream as ICP, but yeah, that people
look at some of the tours that Twisted goes on. Twisted goes on a lot of mainstream tours. They were just on the Warped tour. That's a mainstream tour. That's meant that's meant for mainstream artists. So you can't sit there and say that you're underground if you're going on a mainstream tour.
I mean, Twist is not quite as pop culture as like ICP. You could ask a random person on the street who's not a juggalo, who doesn't listen to that music, have you ever heard of the Insane Clown Posse? And you're like, oh yeah, those crazy fucks that paint up their face, like, you know, they know who they are.
I'm half tempted to do that when I go to Walmart next time. Half tempted.
A lot. Yeah, I mean, people know who they are. They might not have ever heard any of their music or have any idea what the fuck they do, but they know their face, they know their name, and that's mainstream. And there's no two ways about that. So, I just wanted to be able to vocalize that.
Okay, I believe Dark Side Doe is your friend because he said, "What's up, Kaz?"
Yo, Dark Side up in here. Friday interview with you, my homie. What's up?
All right, so let's get on to the next question, which is okay, considering you know, old school rap compared to the newer stuff like damn, I forgot. Not the guy that just died recently. That guy, he was an artist in his own. Yeah, like that other guy who's got his face all tatted up with the multicolored hair. That guy. Compare and contrasting,
Lil Pump,
you know, like old school to all the new stuff. Do you feel that new school rap should try to pick up on some of the old school stuff and try to go that way, or just do their own thing? Yeah.
See, I'm a supporter of both ends. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm an old head in some regards, but I'm young enough that I can appreciate what these young dudes are doing. I'm not saying all of it's good. The majority of it's shit. But there is a good amount of it that is good. And if you accept it for what it is, it's even better. You know, Lil Uzi Vert, for example, he can rap his ass off. He could rap 16s just like, you know, fucking Nas or Biggie if he wanted to. I've heard shit where he does. But the fact is, he knows what makes him money. He knows what gets him publicity. And if you listen to his music and just accept that he's a hook artist with, you know, kind of catchy metaphor lyricism, and that's really all he's bringing to the table right now, along with the very psyche sound, you know, and you just accept it. You don't criticize it and be like, well, it's not Nas, it's not Jay-Z, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, it's not that, and just go, okay, this is what it is. I'm going to digest this for what it is. You enjoy it. Now there is exceptions to that, but there's a lot of not mainstream, but like new age rappers that aren't Lil Pump, that aren't Kodak Black, that aren't Lil Yachty. I mean, Yachty's gotten a little better, but as far as, you know, that whole like mumble rap shit, like Lil Peep before he died, I thought his style was great. It was like this emo punk shit that was awesome. Young Pappy, I felt like he was amazing before he died, and he was big in the drill scene. And he actually, hearing his music actually got me into the drill scene because I wasn't a big Chief Keef fan. So, and then there's artists like NF who doesn't cuss, who's Christian and all this shit, but like his bars are good. You know what I mean? Like it's not this like pray, hallelujah, God crap. Like it's good bars. And Lecrae and Fora. I mean, there's so many, dude. Like I have a whole playlist of just newer stuff. 21 Savage is actually pretty good when he does what he wants to do. I think his first album, he was just kind of trying to get paid. You feel me? Like right. I think though when he did what he wanted to do, you could feel that he was speaking about what he felt he needed to speak about.
All right. So okay, we have a couple of questions from the Peanut Gallery. That's literally what I call the live chat when I'm doing the interviews. The Peanut Gallery.
You see this shit, bro? That is a tight ass ring. Fucking eyeball, bro. Look at this shit. I'm gonna put this closer to the camera. Hold up, shit.
Dude, I wear like 6 rings.
Shit is tight as fuck. Look at that shit. This shit tight as fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I always
say,
right, so but bitch. But anyway.
All right, but okay. So from my friend DJ Zombie Juggalo, he wants to know, how do you feel about gay juggalos?
What do you mean? How do I feel? Like okay, let's. We're gonna
like, where's your standing? No, sorry, no, you don't do that.
You're good.
I'm sorry, but I live with my mom, and her cat was literally looking to hawk up. So
you're good. Where do I stand on gay juggalos? I mean, they're people, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, if somebody's sexuality is that of a gay or a lesbian, or they are transsexual or a cross-dresser or whatever it is that they do. I was swatting away a gnat that was fucking with the phone. Anyway, you know, that's them, man. Like, I don't got no problem with gays. I got no problem with transgenders. I got no problem with anybody, man, as far as that goes. You know, race, religion, creed, color, sexuality, like, none of that matters, man. I mean, people are people, and you're gonna get shitty people in anything.
Yeah,
there's
right.
There's religious people that are some of the nicest people you ever meet, and then there's religious people that thump on your door and ask if you want to read the fucking Bible. There's gay people that are very kind and sweet people, and
right.
Then there's other people that, you know, give that sexuality a bad name due to the way they present themselves or carry themselves. But the same thing can be said for straight people. There's straight people like me who absolutely have no issue with people that are homosexual. And then there's straight people who think that the gays are trying to control the population and that they need to be, you know, holocausted and all this crazy shit. Right. So as far as my feelings towards gay juggalos, I mean, if that's what they want to do, if that's their sexuality, if that's their attraction, then that's their right. We're in an age where that should be their fucking right. And if we think otherwise, then we're just setting ourselves backwards. Time doesn't move backwards. It only moves forward, man.
Exactly. All right. So one from my fiance Venus. If you can sing with a psychopathic or MNE artist, because I did mention to them that you do your own music.
Which I will be giving people samples of here in a bit.
All right. She asked if you can sing with a psychopathic or MNE artist, who would you want to sing with?
Shit. Who the hell's Boondock signed to right now?
MNE. He's on the Magic Ninja label.
Well, then I guess that would be my response. I love the newer Boondocks, so I would have to say Docs would be my check on that list. I don't really know who's on Psychopathic's roster at the moment.
I mean, I can tell you. I mean, there's ABK is on and off. He's doing Psychopathic. He's still repping the Hatchet, but he's also representing his native world, his native world record label. There's Light, Ouija Mac, Big Hoodoo. DJ Clay is not really an artist. He's like a DJ.
So I guess there isn't really anybody from Psychopathic that I would really desperately want to work with. I mean, I guess if I was given the opportunity, yeah, I would work with ICP because that's like such a amazing platform to go up. You know what I mean? But
right.
My two answers would both technically be Magic Ninja Entertainment because it'd either be Docs or Twisted. And I don't know what that fuck Blaze is doing anymore.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you do your own music. What got you into doing your own music?
Oh, damn. Where do we start?
And the telemarketers just have to start fucking calling me right now.
Yep.
Hello.
You're good. I'm thinking about that answer.
I don't have a dealer warranty. Fuck, I don't even have a car.
Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye.
All right, but let's.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry I had to do that. I shouldn't have answered that. I knew it was a telemarketer.
You're good.
I knew it was a telemarketer when the digits were exceeding the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You're good.
10 digits.
Good, dude.
Oh.
You're good, dude. I like spontaneity. I'm one of those people that think if something's too structured, it's too boring.
Okay, see, like the other day, like not yesterday, but the day before that, my mom had a doctor's appointment, and when I'm alone, you're like, I'll plug the headphones in, I'll bump some music, and I'll start singing out loud. So I was sitting there singing. I don't remember what I was singing. It was some rock music. And it just so happened that a telemarketer called. So I picked up and I went there. I started screaming into the phone.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll scare them off. Make them think you're crazy. They won't want to call you back.
Or do what my homie did and fuck with him.
All right, but yeah.
Trying to sell him like solar panels or some shit. No, it was a carpet cleaner. And he was like, yeah, I'm really interested. And he was like, oh, wait, carpet cleaner? I'm sorry. I got wood floors, and hung up. So,
all right.
Anyway, you said, what got me into doing my own shit?
Yeah, I'll get to your question in a minute, Red Hood.
So, as far as what got me into doing my own shit, I was like 12, and I was at a in the cab, and I'm bored, and I'm listening to the Eminem show. And I randomly just decided to pick up a piece of paper and write something. First time I wrote. But as far as what got me into like music, I had a homie in Philly. God bless him. And his name was Chris Flagg. He's unfortunately passed away, and I've talked about him plenty in my music and my interviews and shit. But he got me into the battle circuit in Philly. He would wire the phone up to a speaker system and let me rap over the phone in battle. And then my homie Exodus the White Noise actually was the one that got me into recording. So basically, I started getting into it, realized I was a good freestyler, and then I wanted to take it to the next level. And then I linked up with Clocaine in 2011 and started recording professional quality stuff, and it just kept going from there.
All right, cool. Got something from my friend Real Red Hood 7012. Wants to know, how do you feel about Twisted and ICP hating on each other?
This question. Why this question? This is like saying, how do you feel about Trump as president? There's no right answer to this.
Yeah, no shit.
I think it's petty. I think it's bullshit. I think Twisted was completely valid in their standpoint. And honestly, the beef is already over. Like, people don't even know. They're about to do a tour together. So, and my last employer, Rocks TV, is actually going to have someone there to document some part of the tour. So they're going to be doing shows and tours together again. So that whole thing is over.
Yeah, I mean, even though at their seminar at the gathering this year, they announced officially that the Lotus and the Riders are both dead. They are never coming back. Dark Lotus and Psychopathic Riders are over.
Well, and that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine, because they don't need to do that, but they can still perform on the same shows together. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can have a good working relationship and trade talent or whatever. That doesn't mean honestly, they got to reform the groups and shit.
I mean, honestly, I felt like what they could have did is when Twisted left, they could have made some kind of arranged agreement where, you know, they can they still, I mean, obviously they will be doing tours again, and all this. But when they initially left and broke off the Psychopathic, they could have sat there and said, "You're like, listen, we're gonna leave. We're gonna go do our own thing, and yada yada yada." And basically done it that way. You like have the two of their record labels as a as separate labels, but as
still have a good relationship. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And
well, the whole bullshit started. I want to clarify to the Juggalos that don't understand. The whole bullshit honestly started because Twisted did not want to participate in the Juggalo March because they felt like it was nothing more than a publicity campaign. And I tend to agree with that because they've been registered by the feds as a gang. Juggalos have since like 2006, maybe 2008 at the latest. So it has literally been over 10 years since this has been documented. And just recently, in the last, couple years or so, they've actually wanted to do something about it. If they wanted to make a stance, I feel they should have done it a long time ago. But so it did kind of feel like a publicity campaign. As far as I feel about it, I just feel that it was something that was exploited, and that's what happens with beef in mainstream.
it did. Things. I mean, personally, it didn't help to have. Okay, I will say this, and not all the fucking Juggalos are gonna like this either. Nobody seems to like Gmo Ski, and that's for the simple fact. Now I'm gonna finish this. Now it's for the simple fact that everybody says that all his shit sounds the same. Me personally, I've heard all of his old stuff and all of his new stuff. Most of his recent stuff and his old stuff, none of it sounds identical to any of it. But they all say that it does sound different from when he does diss tracks. Now, it didn't help the situation between M&E and Psychopathic when now see, honestly, and this is another thing. It's gonna piss a lot of Juggalos off that are gonna watch this later on. And here's the thing. It didn't help that ICP shot the first shot. They literally did. Coming out with 6 foot, 7 foot, and shooting shots at M&E, Twisted, Young Wicked, and all of them over at that label. It didn't help. And it definitely didn't help when instead of, maybe, I don't know, having Twisted contact ICP and talk it through as businessmen instead of having and going and saying, Gmo, we need you to drop a diss track on Violent J. Didn't help.
It was a bunch of petty shit. Now I wanna move on to a little bit better questions that aren't exactly Juggalo related. If you're cool with that, I mean I don't have a problem.
No problem. Okay, so other than your music and the interviews that you do and your and the fact that you help publicize people or boost all that other stuff. Like what do you do on shit like for free time? Like what do you do on your loose time?
I chill, play video games, hang with the family, hang out with friends. I'm a very chilled out guy. As far as what you were speaking on, before that, I am an online promoter. I promote underground artists through Facebook. I help get them to a better spot. I promote underground businesses. I do graphic editing. I do simple quick mixing. I also do features and hooks. I'm connected to a lot of engineers and producers. So, I can help connect people really good. And I've been doing my own music since 2010 as far as recording. And like people don't understand, like the reason I have such a low budget sound and it's so like punk is because I came from that. My original setup was like a Logitech headset mic that sounded like dog shit. You know what I mean? I didn't have the experience or the knowledge to go and cop like a really good USB, which I had the money to do at the time. And, snowballs and like good USBs back in the 2010s, 2011s were like $200 mics. They were good quality shit back then. Now they're like 50, $60. You can get a bargain deal on a fucking USB. But I didn't have the knowledge, and I didn't really research, I didn't really learn. And then once I got involved with people that were professional, I learned what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. But I've been recording all my newer stuff on my laptop mic because people are digging that low budget sound. And eventually I want to evolve past that. But at this point, I'm just chilling back, doing the promotional stuff, getting paid good money to do that and help out people like Uzi G, like Sam Lunacy, like Cytic from the UK. All these people are great. Rox TV was really good for me. They did me really good. They treated me really good. Bob Rox is one of the best people I've ever worked for. So at this point, and I'm going to be working with a new female rapper from Mississippi who's originally from Cleveland, Ohio. And her name is Jugs. She's going to be starting up here soon, and I'm going to be managing all her shit. So I've also worked for T-Bag Taylor, and I don't know if I'm ever going to work for him again, but I mean, he was a good guy to work for. He had good, solid shit, So as far as my music, yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I like to have a different style and a different approach. And as far as my free time, man, I just try to enjoy the family, you know what I mean? And I don't really go fucking party. I don't fucking go to the club. I might hit a bar with a friend or some shit, but that's about it. I don't I don't do any fucking drugs. Like, I'm super chill. The most thing I do is fucking smoke cigarettes and drink, and occasionally I'll take a pull, you know what I mean? But that's it, brother. I'm an easygoing cat as far as, my free time.
Okay, so from earlier, dude came in. His name is I don't know if you know him, Billy, also known as Psycho Clown Entertainment Inc.
Fuck him.
He said ask him about the real reason MPT left his label. I don't know if you want to get into it.
No. I'll talk about it. That fucking punk ass little bitch. And I don't got no problem with MPT. Me and him have fucking talked about our shit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The kid's got talent. The kid's cold. And I've talked to him personally. So Billy, suck a dick on that. And shit's cool between me and him. So I don't know what your drama's all about. But basically, what happened was he had made the decision that he didn't want to be on my label because at the time I was running a label and he didn't want me to manage him. And he decided that him and Billy were going to go start a label. Now, if that would have been handled appropriately, I wouldn't have given a shit. Right? But it wasn't handled appropriately. It was handled backstabbingly and it was handled snakishly. And basically I got a bunch of threatening emails talking about how basically I need to keep my fucking mouth shut and that I'm a 2-bit mumble rapper, and I'm not a mumble rapper, and that he's a better rapper than me, and that I was scared that he was going to overtake my spot on follows and shit, which he didn't. He still hasn't. He's doing his thing, and respect to him. You know what I mean? But as far as the situation goes, I haven't spoke about it too much publicly. I haven't made a song. I haven't really said too much. It's been over a year since I said anything. But if he wants to come in here stirring up old drama and, stirring the stew, that's fine. I can let the fucking truth be known. The truth was I fucking put you on, you fucking piece of shit, and brought you in when you was doing half-ass podcasts and wanted you to run our fucking social media shit, and you stabbed me in the back, and you decided to get in his head and convince him that he needed to not work with me anymore, even though I gave him his name, I gave him his career, I tutored him and worked with him on his lyrics and his sound and his flow and his cadence. Like, I was a key part to everything. The artwork he currently has up is my fucking artwork. Like, I have no grudge about it. I'm not bitter about it. I don't give a fuck about it. I'm fine. MPT can do his thing. And if he wants to work with me, even on just a song or whatever, I'm open to it. It's all good. But as far as what happened, yeah, he stabbed me in the back and decided to go found his own label with a fucking nobody who's trying to get attention by getting on this fucking interview because my name has clout. So, bitch, suck a dick.
All right, so we got that out the way.
Don't
Okay,
bring
so
drama. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Don't throw stones, bro. I've always said it. I've always said it, and I've always meant it. So sorry to go on a tangent, but that to bring up that old hat bullshit, man. What is wrong with these motherfuckers?
okay, so you mentioned okay, so now that we got that out of the way, so you mentioned that you tend to play video games on your free time, so that obviously means that you're a gamer. So what kind of games do you play, like racing, adventure, like what kind of shit do you
It's a
play?
combination of things. I was on an Infamous kick for a minute. I was on a bit of a Midnight Club kick for a minute. I play the WWE series, the 2K series. I was even into the SmackDown versus Raw series back in the day. Boxing, MMA, Call of Duty. I was big into the Godfather game that they came out with. I love that game. So there's a little bit of everything. I don't get really big into the adventure games, not because they're bad games, but because that's a lot of like time that you got
It's a
to
lot of
log into
time,
those
you got
games.
a lot of work and shit.
But I do have fun with them whenever I get the itch to play them. As far as that goes. Now, there's another bit of drama I could speak on, and I spoke on it yesterday, so I guess I wouldn't have a problem speaking on it now.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Neat Lane Records are snakes. They're underhanded, and if they try to come to you for information or for assistance, just know that they will use you and abuse you and then try to bury you. And that's what they did with me. I gave Reckhurst a lot of information and a lot of pointers on how to promote himself better. I was really, kind of playing Switzerland as far as trying to stay neutral because they didn't like Uzi G because she used to be on their label and I was promoting for her. So the main guy of Neat Lane would not do business with me, but I still tried to, play it neutral and not get too pissed off. Well, I made a comment on one of Rex live vids. Mm-hmm. And I jokingly said, fuck ICP, LOL, I'm just kidding, bro, just trolling you. It's all, all love. And Joe, who runs the label, went off on me, told me to get the fuck off the feed, that I'm a fucking snake and a piece of shit and all this kind of thing. And I told him to fuck off. And he sent me a threatening message saying he was going to send trolls to spam my shit, which he never did. And he was going to cut me down and show me who really has stroke. And I put together a little diss song, kind of light, not anything too heavy to kind of just address it. And then I told Rec that there was a diss song coming. And he was like, oh, no, it sounds good, man. It'll motivate my people. And I love that shit. And I was like, so you're not upset? And he was like, nah. I was like, okay, cool. And next thing I know, he went live not too long after that and sat there and buried me and called me a snake and called me Two-Face and claimed that Uzi G was driving around his house but couldn't provide any evidence. He couldn't provide any evidence to how I was a snake or how I was being Two-Face. Meanwhile, I can provide evidence of screenshots, audio, etc. to back up what I'm saying for the most part. There's certain things that were said in phone calls that I don't have proof of because it was a Facebook call and they don't log any of that shit. But there are a lot of things that I can, provide proof of. The fact that he mocked my disability by making a drawing of me with my face disfigured and, all switched out in a wheelchair and shit. And like normally I wouldn't have given a fuck, but he's on disability. His son has Tourette's and has a disability. His wife has a disability technically because she has epilepsy. So it was the moral of it, and how hypocritical it was that got to me. And he tried to issue a bullshit apology on Facebook, like a apology status. And I said, if you want to apologize, be a man and apologize to me live in front of the world, face to face. And he was like, oh, I'll do it eventually, man. Eventually we'll do that. But the label doesn't want me to do it. I was going to do a interview with Underground Wicked Radio South. and he cock-blocked that because he didn't need to go inform Joe of any of that. That was a booking agreement between him and Underground Wicked Radio South, as him being an alternative booking agent to DJ Snickers. Much love to DJ Snickers. And he decided to get Joe involved, and he shot down the idea, and Rect would not sign off on the interview, despite the fact that none of this would have been mentioned on that interview.
Right.
It would have been a very positive, interview. I would have said positive things about them. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to let any of that bullshit affect anything. But then they decided to elevate things to another level. So Lunacy's coming for your asses. I'm coming for your asses. And y'all better be ready, and y'all better be strapped up and stocked on them lyrics. Because if y'all come with some pussy ass fucking I'm a shark swimming in the lake smelling blood bullshit, you ain't going to last, homie.
All right. So, okay.
I want to actually, if I can have a moment to play some shit, if you're cool with that.
Yeah,
so
no problem. I mean, I've already explained to the people that are that I was in a call with before we got the interview started, that none of your shit is actually, like out there, like in stores and shit. So, like, because I have played music on my live stream before and I've been slapped with copyrights. But I know that I'm not going to be slapped with copyrights because you're not going to, it's your music. So,
yeah, I mean, there's some that have like beat tags and stuff, but I don't see there being a copyright because I'm not using it for commercial gain. I do not own any of these beats, which I'm saying right now. But I don't think there will be a problem. Let's see here. Let's do this one. Hold on a minute. Got to switch over the audio from the TV to the computer. Then I'll rewind it back.
It's back to the block, beat playing.
It's that cocaine, motherfuckers.
This is music for the faith. Fuck pop culture, who the next best thing is. We set trends and watch you motherfuckers chase it. Face it, y'all basic. We Chinese trigonometry. This Vandal squad properly stopping us ain't an option. See, we the best, ain't shit you could do. Meet me in the booth if you want some too.
So it's back to the block, the chopping block that is, cause I'm chopping at the bids and sliding these fucking pigs. Keeping it on my underground shit, summertime, man. I'll keep it basement. Yeah, me in the booth as I spit y'all the truth. Punchline so hard, leave you with a missing tooth. I am the incredible, medical, lyrical, miracle rapper. Shitting on all y'all bastards.
All right, that is pretty dope shit right there.
Here's my lead single, which I don't know if I need to play the whole motherfucking hook through, but okay.
Was a brand new truck, goes in a replicator. Never really been the type to fuck around. If they want to fuck around, leave that to you. All I ever wanted was a block in the team. Hold it down, nigga, no we can't lose. I've been on the grind, I ain't doing no time. We don't care about nothing. These niggas got me fucked up. I'm from the city, so the thing goes yak, when I'm bad. Got me fucked up. Bell picking up the window, licking yak, leave them right. Got me fucked up. With 12 waiting for a clue, and my mind got nothing to do with it. And this word gets back, you been running your mouth, the next month, Bell's gon' have you in it.
These boys got me fucked up. Rap people on the internet like, dog, what the fuck? I ain't trying to be bully and get into that pushing for me, cause if you pushing for me, I might have to pull the PC. And I'm just looking for a piece, not in rest in peace in the fine box. But you want a box. Late at night, in the fight, in the shadows of the devil, when he go, when he breathes in the thing, bro. If me and you to say that, let us just greet. If me and you to say that, let's just speak. With a reason for all of this drama. With a reason for all of this beef. Cause you're just a bitch, cause you're just a bitch. Nigga touch your ear just like a bitch. Just fuck around just like a hump. That's why you be left with the hoe, bro.
All I ever wanted was a brand new truck, goes in a replicator. Never really been the type to fuck around. If they fuck around,
I'm the second verse of it.
That's my word. No fucking with my crew, you get screwed. I'm in that city with so much sweet, what is great. I am from city where they will kill. I am from 574, they pop still. I am from place where they got on their bangers. I am from place where they all are gangbangers. I am from place where they all the drug slangers. I am from place where people catching cases. Cases of shells, they call cases hell. We live in the hell and we never dwell. Money for bad, the snakes in the grass. Better be trimming and better get ready to bless. If you talk to the 5-0, you probably gonna get a 40 cal to your dog.
All I ever wanted was a brand new truck.
That's 2 verses of GMFU. I'm going to be releasing the mix and master version in the next few months.
All right, cool. Okay, another question is, I could remember off the top of my head. I mean, okay, so I don't know why I keep saying I mean. It's the first 2 words that come to my head to say the first thing. But you seem like you're into a lot of you seem like you're into movies. Like, what kind of movies do you watch? Like the genres that you enjoy the most?
Documentaries, honestly. A lot of documentaries. Mobster documentaries. I've watched a lot of Holocaust documentaries. Just a lot of things that provide information to the mind, you know. Outside of that, I mean, like, superhero movies are awesome nowadays. You know, and since I got a kid, there's a lot of kid movies I watch.
Right.
You know?
All right. Okay, so you're into superhero movies. So are you also into reading like comic books and shit?
Not really. I tried to get into it back in the day, but it just didn't click.
Okay, so
not that great.
Okay, so you said you're into the superhero movies. Which brand of the superhero movies are you more into? Are you into the more into the Marvel or the DC?
I don't really have a preference. Whatever catches my attention and seems good.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite things in a while was the Blade series. I really liked the Blade series, especially the first one. And like Underworld, I was really into that. I mean, that's not exactly a superhero movie, but I like that movie.
Okay, I believe that.
Shit like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Godfather, Scarface.
I believe that. I believe your friend is. I believe your friend Darkseid is joking around because he sat there and said, and he calls and talks shit to Darkseid Doe on his free time.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I give shit, homie, but guess what? You're better for it. You're better for it, motherfucker. I tightened your shit up, bro.
Okay.
Gotta try to do that lunacy laugh. Yeah, bro. Oh God, I hope Lunacy sees this.
Okay, so okay, we already covered the artist thing. Okay, so if you could do okay, so okay, so if you could do an interview with someone famous, you know, like it could be a celebrity, it could be an artist, it could be just about anybody who's famous. Who would you want to interview?
Eminem.
Eminem?
Eminem. Hands down, Eminem. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly. Those are my 2 options. If I had a third, I'd say DMX.
All right,
Eminem, cool. Kelly, and DMX.
Let's see what else. Have you ever heard of Mr. Licks?
No, I have not.
No. Wow, you're the first to say that because I've mentioned him quite a few times to some people, and they'll sit there and say, "Oh, fuck him, he's a bigot, racist, and all this other shit." And you know, honestly, my opinion is, guy's cool, chill, laid back guy. I've done an interview with him. I tried doing it live on the channel, but he couldn't get his shit working. So we wound up doing a. Okay, my friend DJ hasn't heard of him either. I'm gonna have to fill his ass in. But he was underground. He started his own label. He had to cut the label down because some of the people that he hired on that were artists turned around and basically did the same thing that some of the people that you know did, which is stabbed him in the back and told him that he didn't do shit for them and all this other horse shit. Shut his label down, took some time off, came back. His first track that he dropped when he came back was called I think if I remember correctly, it's called Nazi. The whole theme of it was like he was dressed like a Nazi, the swastika, and all this shit. And you know, I actually in the interview with him, the private interview that I actually did record because I run on Linux and I have this program called Kazam where I can record like conversations and keep it on record if I ever need proof. And I recorded it,
Right.
But when I did, there's one little box that I forgot to check off, and that's record sound. So the whole 53-minute, like the whole almost hour-long interview is all just silence. Its lips are flapping, but there's no voices coming out.
Well, I've had that happen before.
But he actually cleared that up, that he's not a bigot, he's not a racist, because the label that he runs, which is called Murder Music.
Take these fucking things off for a couple minutes.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do the same thing. Because if I keep my shits on for too long, then my eyes have to adjust to light and everything. But he clarified that, you know, he can't be a bigot or a racist because most of the people that he works with are black. His managers are Hispanic. So how are you going to be a bigot and a racist if you work with blacks and your managers are Hispanic?
I got some new shit to drop and some older shit I want to preview for people. So if you give me a second to line this up. All right, that's not the right line. Hold up. Fucking thing. Hold on, I'm using a online player thing and it's not wanting to work right. Give me a second. Reload this fucking thing. About the opportunities, I missed out something. I hate, I feel pain. There we go. It's still rain. It's the crap. And that crack, you choose out to put it trap. That's the end of a verse. Ignore that.
Now, is this something old?
This is new.
All right. Y'all are hearing this first on this channel.
Yeah, this is Hate, I Feel Pain, raw take. Hasn't been mixed down, hasn't been leveled properly, so I'm playing the second verse because that has the best levels.
Right.
And I freestyled this, motherfuckers. Homie said gang until they pulled him out, until he went to that pen and they put his ass down. He was living in hell, even though Satan by the touch. But when you gone fast, you used to living by the clutch. So when you think about it, the good die young, cause they in the midst of this shit. I still tell you dying and you do it for your colors, but they really die for you. All they really brothers, but you need a fucking product to get out that hood. Need that fucking money so your baby's good. So what you gonna do? But that 9 to 5, or you gonna hit the block till you die. Tell me what you would do in that situation. People looking down on you cause they hate it. But I understand the struggle, it's a walk to greatness. Walking out on your side and Satan on your feet, kid. Walk with God on your side and Satan on your feet, kid. That's some deep shit, motherfuckers. Let's
All
see
right.
what else I can. Let's see what other bones I can throw your way. Oh, I got meditation. I got the cut of meditation. I forgot. Sam
Okay,
Lunacy is going to be on this bitch. I'll show you all that.
DJ Zombie said he likes it. It's a good beat. So,
yep, those lyrics will get better. That's completely raw. That hasn't been like mixed down or anything. That's 100% raw. And here is the cut of meditation.
TaylorMadeBeats.com.
Again, I don't own any of these beats, so make sure to put a disclaimer in your video.
Roll my weed, I'm stress free. I don't want nobody to fuck with me. You lucky, I got something to live for. Roll my weed, I'm stress free. I don't want nobody to fuck with me. You lucky, I got something to live for.
Let me buy. Leave me in my lonesome and let me be. Just let me buy. These people be trying to commit crimes on in my mind. Yo, self-medication keep me straight. That's all if I need the blood. If I was fucked up on a coke, you would know it's never simply but deep. If I must, I might touch. Serve up, make me trippy, still be in prison. I don't even know what you expected from this shit. Try to do that hit the shit, end up in forest stripping shit. Man, I don't even care for me another cup of that double up. Two shot of jet. You do shit about that niggas trying to kill my brother.
Roll my weed, I'm stress free. I don't want nobody to fuck with me.
So that is the cut version of medication, and Sam Lunacy will be engineering that track and featuring on that track.
cool.
Here's an old song called Invincible. Like I said, make sure in your video to put that none of these beats are owned so you don't get hit with any copyright or anything.
Right.
But this is actually more of like a political deal. In my joint.
Undeniable, talent individual, truly unbreakable, invincible, never funny to the decibel, always stay visible, born to be handicapped, destined to be incapable, born bold, militant, line cold, time grows cold, as our government tries to mold what is accepted in the social mind frame, picking apart our brains, as we blend like grain to sand. But that's my material brand too. I'll be the one to make a stand. Nobody knows and nobody sees what they do to you and what they do to me. How they manipulate and control our minds, so we may never find a higher state of mind. Brainwashing us in the sea of lies. I believe it is now our time to rise.
I got something for Dark Side. Hold up. This is for Dark Side. Me and him did this fucking track. Wait, no, is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. It's only like a 3-minute track. I'll let it play through. He's got verse 1. I popped in on verse 2. Much love, Dark Side.
Dear Lord, I pray for what's going on in the world today. Dear Lord, I pray. Dear Lord, I pray for what's going on in the world today. Dear Lord, I pray. Dear Lord, I pray for what's going on in the world today. Dear Lord, I pray. Dear Lord, I pray for what's going on in the world today. all the time they got the face. I know I ain't said nothing, but I got your back anyway. For all my niggas that passed, I wish you was still here today. Please free my nigga E. My mom stuck in the street. People don't realize he was like a brother to me. Anybody wanna scrap, he took up for me. When I heard he was lying, he made it rough for me.
And then I'll flip through this hook real quick. There we go. So we can get right into my verse real quick. And for anyone out there that's not Cop Sam Lunacy's EP, grab that shit.
Your memory tight, like every night I drink that vodka and Sprite just to reminisce your memory and keep it in my soul. Now that you going to that sky and I never see you, bro, until I grow. Man, I always would have thought it was the opposite, would have popped you. At least I could have coped. But it was in that prison cell, dwelling in that living hell that you had to pass on. Cop popped you on. I wish that would have just been a taser. I wish that would have just been my brain's breath. You had a lot to live for, just because you made mistakes. They felt it was okay to make you another DOA. And I'm like, hell no. He ain't no animal. This is the pain him up like a cannibal. They treat him like the animals. They shack him in them chains. My man took a bullet to the brain, so we pray.
So what you thinking of that?
That shit was pretty fucking hot, no doubt. My friend DJ said he likes the beat, he loves the beat, and he loves the hook.
Yup. And I was gonna throw on Help with Dark Side, but I think I need to throw on something I recorded in my cousin's studio because it's a fucking bomb ass song.
Depression's fucking me. I cannot seem to raise my child with dignity. I am completely lost it, completely losing out of it. I'm not even here anymore. Go to another dimension. I might have dementia when I'm 60, or maybe when I'm 40, I'll finally get a 40 grand house and do something worth the shit. Or I'll just end my life and not get two shits. I feel so alone and trapped, like I might as well go back to selling drugs out the trap. Yeah, they say you need to get your swag back, you need to get your money up. Yo, all I need to do is stop giving a fuck, because I never gave a fuck before. Take a 38 and blow it straight to your brains cause you're a whore. Raging chase my brain. Have I gone insane? Do I need to go to the asylum? Yo, can somebody please give a hand to me? I'm only human, G. Everybody seems to think I'm conflicted. Well, no shit, bitch. I have friends flipping shit. They don't give a fuck trying to flip my bitch. Unless I check, I don't got a problem checking your shit. So better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because I'll wreck you, man. Yo, I checked myself in a bottle of Hennessy, selling comforting me. Let's understand, I'm completely lost my mental state. I think I might completely gone. Cause when I fly away, it's 2 middle fingers to God. Give a fuck if I rock in hell. Oh well, I'd rather be in hell than in the jail cell.
So that's Losing My Mind.
All right, cool. Yeah, fucking my friend DJ just posted that shit into my chat group on Hangouts.
Fuck yeah. And then let's see here. What do I got? Oh, this is a good one. This is from my first album.
Yeah. Real shit. game, it's a battlefield. You would die or survive. I've been in this game since like 8 p.m. Hip hop took my heart, my soul, and my mind. Yeah, it's my passion for rapping. It teaches words, snapping and crashing so fast. It's flying, screaming and crying, and I'm not joke. I'll never give up hope as long as I got this microphone. I'll be able to cope with all the bullshit you talking. Motherfuckers stop. I'm always gonna be on my grizzly and my grind. Motherfuckers, fuck you. I'm always on my time. It's my time to shine. I'm caged in like a fucking animal. I'm a cannibal. I'm addicted to this for lyrical perfectionist. This hip hop shit, deep in my blood, hard in my soul. I'll never let this dream go. Always rep my hometown till I'm very young. These streets got me tearing up, my mind on dumb. Thinking I'm next, in line to get fucked up. I hear the sirens pass, then my stomach turns. So fuck these things and when I got they never say the homies standing on a ghetto block.
Alright, that was pretty good too. So everybody, is there any more questions from the live chat? Does anybody else have any questions? DJ, Darkside, Venus,
Well,
any other questions?
I am at least gonna play one track from Sam Lunacy because I love Lunacy and he's the shit. Let's see here. Let's go with probably his best song in my opinion, "So High I'm Tripping" by Sam Lunacy.
Hey yo, pass me that blunt. Hey, listen. I'm ready. Let's do this shit. All times a whirlwind crossbreed spinning in a cloth like a weather vane. I'm raising, never stop. I'm gonna burn the stage like the O2 is over, getting hot. Sam is flammable, rock the Molotov. Pump them fists up, jump like you're about to fucking fly. Feel them lifting off and you know that you'll be alright. Because all my friends and my fans keep it real, they by my side. Feel the night, it's alive and I'm so high that I'm tipping time. With the attitude that I'm soon to become an icon. Boom, man, I blew up like I'm a motherfucking pop bomb. Ever the killer, I'm a lunatic with a mic on. Say it with me, y'all, I get high. Oh my fuck, smoke up, one down in a puff. Chronic in the zigzag, I let get token, I'm fucking stoned. But party of a brain, but I gotta think, so I make them go nuts. Fuck that bitch, I'm still talking about that old gun. Buddy, check it, got a message, guess who sent it? This stupid little mess that said he's better, but he isn't. Naming me your best friend. Hold up, I didn't ever mention that. Use about that wacky rap, dig up in a bottle rap. I was watching paint dry, well ain't nobody guessing that, man, I'm a king, bro, you the peasant. Cole just needs attention, but I ain't even stressing. Like I said, I barely talk to ya. I'm a whore, then you're the crashy smoke, gon' get a shot for ya. Time's a whirlwind, crossbreed spinning in a cloth like a weather vane. I'm raising, never stop. I'm gonna burn the stage like the O2 is over, getting hot. Sam is flammable, rockin' Molotov. Jump like you're about to fucking fly. Feel them lifting off and you know that you'll be alright. Because all my friends and my fans keep it real, they by my side. Feel the night, it's alive and I'm so high that I'm tipping time. For the longing every dawn, yes I need to be the one to show you fuckers how it's done. Yeah, I can get old, but I won't never fold. It's too much fun. Sam is flammable, burning out your fucking tongue. So I try.
And then I got a little special thing for those who have not heard Sidekick of the UK. Sidekick is a super talented artist in the UK. He's got a few clips, so I'm going to play both of them. He doesn't have a fully finished song yet.
All right.
The two clips he has are absolute fire. So Here's his newest clip, since it's the easiest one to find. I don't know what happened there. 1 second. All right.
All right, DJ Zombie said, mad props from this gay juggalo on your music.
All this shit's got me feeling like a lunatic. I can't control the thoughts inside my mind when I'm doing this. It's impossible, even though I try, I can't resist. I pull out the blade as I run up there and stab this bitch. People screaming, don't know what the fuck is happening. As I face it, the curb, get the urge to stamp it in. Bone shattering, blood spattering, pulling out my dick and busting nut all on the chin.
That's his newest clip, and then I will play you his previous clip that we blew up to like over 1,000 fucking views.
All right.
Super short, but it's super dope.
Place. I'm myself stalking late at night with a mask up on my face. I see this bitch, she's coming down the lane, I wanna taste. I made a big mistake, don't wanna catch another case. She saved me and she's got your love, but she cannot escape. She sealed her fate, I put her in pieces of brutal wrong with a plate. Motherfucker, I'm insane. In other words, I'm sick in the brain, you crossing past your beat, and you're gonna disappear without it.
Like I said, little clips. He can actually sing too. And
Nice.
the last love I'm going to show before I get back to talking about me is the newest song by Uzi G, otherwise known as the Uzi Goddess, or as I like to call her, Uzi Gangster, because Uzi's the shit. She's gotten into some like hippie-esque type stuff, and I think it's really cool. So I'll give everybody a little sample of that. She's going to refine that a little bit, but yeah, that's her new style. She's getting more into singing and not really rapping as much. So I thought it was pretty dope.
Right. It does sound pretty dope. All right, so let's see. Fuck.
I'm sure there's more questions because I mean we talked about a lot of different shit the other day.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the your record label that you had.
Okay, my label, which I still have a page up for if people want to support it, I might bring it back eventually, was called Do or Die Records, and it stemmed out of my previous label, Impact Players, which is now Impact Players Inc., which is our graphics department, graphics and web design department.
Right.
Basically, Do or Die is what I call a user-friendly label or an artist-friendly label, right?
Right.
The concept was with most labels that are not pseudo bullshit labels, they take the higher percentage from the artist. We wanted to give the artist more control.
Right.
Our theory was, since we don't have a building, we don't have rent, or we're not renting out studio time to people, all we're doing is providing service.
Right.
What we did was we made the percentages more leaning towards the artist. So,
Okay.
for example, your albums, if you put out an album, we would only get 40% of your album sales. And since there was 2 people running the label, that's 20% per person on the label and towards the label.
Okay.
60% of their album sales, which is over half, would go to them.
Right.
Merch sales was 20% for the label, 80% for the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Booking and shows, if they booked their own show, it was their shit. You know, if they sold CDs or whatever, or merch, we would take that percentage. But as far as what they made on that show from the show they booked, if it was a show we booked, it was interesting because they still got the higher percentage. I think it was like 70%, and we got 30. We required a 30% down deposit if we booked the show in case they failed. You know what I mean?
Right.
In case there was some kind of bullshit. But that was refundable as long as you performed. So we only got 30% from shows that we booked. So all in all, the artist gets the most out of the label, and the label
Right.
just gets enough to advance and grow. There was one catch that people had a problem with. I charged a $50 signing fee. And the reason I did this was to weed out people that were, well, shit, and that weren't legitimate and didn't want to invest. I said, if you pay me a one-time signing fee, you're signed on, you're legally contracted, we will draw up a legal contract.
Right.
And the contract, basically, we would get notarized so that if you did something in the wrong, we had the right to sue. But if we did something in the wrong, you had the right to sue us. It was a two-way deal.
Okay.
So there was nothing shady about that. We made sure that it was very on the up and up, you know. And basically, it would work on a sliding scale year to year. So we had like a 6-month sign-on plan and a year sign-on plan. And you would have to renew. But after 2 years, you would be put on a sliding scale. Now, most people get freaked out by that because, oh, what if I have a really bad year? And I said, well, if you have a really bad year, you'll just pay the standard rate. If you have a really good year, you'll pay a much lower rate, like, you know, $20.
Right.
Because you made money for the label and you made money for yourself. If you had a bad year and you only had like 10 album sales, we're not going to make you pay a shitload more. We're just going to say, okay, re-sign for the 50, or I think a year contract was like 75, which is still very, you know, very good considering how good I am at graphics and promotion. And we had a connection to a distribution network that could distribute your stuff. And we were good at booking at the time. We knew how to book shows if that was something somebody needed to do. So that was the general layout of my label. It was a very artist-friendly label. Problem was there was too many people that didn't want to do real business, and we kept having a bunch of fuck shit go on, so we got tired of it, and we said, okay, well, never mind. He'll go back to doing tech support, and I'll go into promotions.
Right.
After, of course, focusing on myself and getting me where I wanted to be.
Okay.
I also had a lawsuit in California. That was fun. I got sued for using someone else's name. That's why my name is Kaz Kash. It was originally Kaz. And I had to go through 3-day negotiations. And it was really unfortunate because I got a $500 credit in an advertising agency in California, which that was good, right? But we sat on it because we wanted to wait to use it until the time was appropriate. Never sit on your assets, people. If you've got an asset through a company like that, use it, because the company went out of business and was bought by a Canadian company.
Right.
And Canadian law states that if you have not been active with your assets in over 90 days, they can terminate the contract. So they terminated all of our credits. So we went from having 500 advertising credits to none after this Canadian company bought it out. also early on in my career, I had struck up a deal with an advertising company, and it was very close to going through, very legitimate. And what happened was I missed a meeting with the CEO because I had to take care of my kid. So I sent my partner to represent me, and the CEO found that to be unprofessional for whatever reason. And basically put like a suspension on our contract and waited for a larger buyer, and we got bought out for like $25,000 through some bigger company. So yeah, if you deal with advertising companies, be very careful.
Right.
I suggest to advertise yourself or hire on somebody who does promotion like myself, because then you're dealing with freelance instead of a large company.
Right. All right. I really cannot think of any other questions. I don't see anybody asking any other questions in the chat. So I think we can close this out. Thank you for letting me interview you.
No doubt.
It was dope.
For having me on and letting me plug everybody, and yeah.
It was definitely a treat to hear some of your music, especially some of the cut stuff that hasn't been released yet. That was a real treat. Y'all heard it first here.
Just wait till them Rec Hurst disses drop. I was gonna drop a little sneaky on them, but
yeah, that's let's see. Dark Side though did say earlier at about 7:08, he said "fuck wrecked."
So you know what? Just for kicks, before we close this out, you know what?
Right.
I'll do it. I will play the first verse part of this.
All right.
My homie is telling me some crazy shit. Hold up. Let me find this fucking track. I think it's this one. Yep.
Yo, this is my plea for rehabilitation. You can't seem to rap, bro.
Hold on.
Hey, you need to keep this addiction, bro. Homie, look, them pills got you thinking all hazy. You can't seem to rap, bro. You ain't no Jay-Z. You're not gonna be next. Nah, it's just cut it off. Leave that alone. Not cut you off. You better go, but you still living your mama home.
All right, so there's a little snippet of that.
All right, yeah, y'all heard it here first.
And then I got one last little snippet.
Smelling for the blood. Wait, come pull up. Yeah, we pull up out the cut and we let that shit know. We in the fucking hood where the chrome get domed. We in the fucking places where the bodies get hid. When people coming home after 15-year bed, you be talking about you gang, please. Get on your knees and make your plea to God to save your life, the registry. I'm sorry, but you sound like this when you was rapping. What's gonna be back with a fucking faggot in the closet while I put you in the closet and duct tape family. I'm over it. Take the knife to your throat, but you know what it is. This is KAZ. I'm the killer in this bitch.
Nice.
That was You Ain't Gang, and that was directed towards Joe of Neat Lane Records. So there's two little snips of some disses. You know what? Because I like your show and I like your interview, I'll give you one more little gem.
All right. All right.
Give it all away.
Yeah.
I'll be the first shit. And the little intro, too.
Step to real killers, you know, feel it.
Mother, I'm a criminal. Mother, I'm a criminal. Mother, I'm a criminal.
Fuck Neat Lane.
Mother, I'm a criminal. Mother, I'm a criminal.
Yeah. I used to hang on them blocks. with them boys. Blocks with them boys, with them grown toys. Wanna talk their shit, wanna bring that drama. You better pray to God we don't kill your mama. No, your honor, I don't know who murked them. No, judge, I don't know who hurt them. Nah, I'll speak to the fucking police. Lay your motherfucker down 6 feet deep concrete. Bitch, man, get slayed in my street, boy. Cocaine, we still at the trunk homes. You know what I be talking about. You know.
And I'll cut it off right there.
All right, yeah, that was another snippet for anybody who is watching or who may be watching this later on today, tomorrow, or any other day of the week.
I got one little thing, but it's not me. It's not me. I got to play the start to this deal because this is the lunacy disc that's dropping soon. I got to at least play the fucking start to this goddamn thing because it's so fire.
Damn, dropping tons of freshness on motherfuckers.
Oh, wait. Okay. So you heard Lunacy earlier. Do you think he bites Twisted?
No, he does not.
This motherfucker tried to say he bites Twisted. There's a clip in the beginning of him saying that he bites Twisted.
Wax dribble drip like a candle. Dab hit settles in like dust on the mantle. Hand over switching on my sub bass. Hands on my nutsack, baked like a cupcake. Cupcake fast, that's a faggoty ass bystand. Tell my dad trackers for a lap to drag blind stand. Sit your ass down and have a bite of the past time, man. Fruitcake is more like a way to describe this back of a guy. Trade on 9-10. Next day I'm the egg inside with the knife and like a Faven. Oh, bitch. I'm shanking him. Over the ball like a baby bitch. Put around 9 miles from the base again. When I'm aimed to go, just stay get home. Smoke banging the smoke of the haze. They tracing on. Got my face grim. Should never stop chasing on. And I'm ready to cram. Give it the face to the face. Maybe you're afraid to come to the table. I need some. Maybe you're bleeding tongue. Bad is fine. All in the front of the ribbon draw. Tons of dust. 12 up and tons stuffed in a dump truck. Held it on the tip. 2 bucks left cause he won. One. Shout out to the homies that the sun rushed down.
There you go. Little minute snippet of Sam Lunacy's diss towards Reckhurst coming up.
All right. Well, y'all, like I said, y'all heard all this shit here first. Some of it, previous, some of it new, and some of it unreleased.
Yeah, there's a lot of unreleased that I played here today.
Exactly. So
I definitely wanted to show you some love.
All right, so this was the interview. Okay, so whoop whoop, DJ. All right, so this was the interview with Kaz Kash. Thanks for taking the time out to let me interview you, man. Thanks for dropping all that fresh shit on us. Everybody, make sure anybody who watches this and knows this dude, make sure you keep your ear holes open for it. So,
yep.
All right, everybody, y'all know who the fuck I be. I'm motherfucking Virus, and well, y'all know I'm out this bitch. Deuces.
Pieces.